Welcome to the Billing Blueprint Podcast, your go-to resource for innovative medical billing solutions. Each episode, we explore the latest industry trends and share proven strategies to help your practice streamline operations and get paid faster. Now, here are your hosts, Brad and Sarah.
All right, everyone get ready because today we're diving deep into the world of electronic medical records.
EMRs.
EMRs, you got it. And this one is for all of you running smaller medical practices out there.
Absolutely.
We're going to help you make sense of it all, especially since it looks like you've been doing your homework.
Oh, yeah.
We see you've been poring over this article on picking the right EMR system, which is smart because switching from paper to digital...
That's a big leap.
Huge. So we're here to give you the knowledge to choose wisely.
That's right. It's way more than just switching. It's like a complete overhaul of how you do things.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Let's do it.
The article defines an EMR as like a digital version of those patient charts, all the history, test results, treatment plans, the whole 9 yards.
Yep, all in one secure spot.
But it's not just a fancy filing cabinet in the cloud, is it?
No way. Think of it as like a high-tech control center for patient care.
Okay, I like that.
EMRs can actually boost the quality of care in ways paper just can't. You could avoid a serious mix-up just because the system caught something you might have missed.
That's amazing. So it's not just preventing those kinds of errors.
Not even close.
The article also talks about saving time and money.
Oh yeah, less paperwork.
Streamlining everything.
Happy staff, efficient practice, happy patients, the whole thing.
It really does sound like a win-win.
It is.
But I bet some folks listening are like, whoa, where do I even begin?
I know, it's a lot to take in.
It can feel overwhelming.
It's like planning a road trip. You don't just hit the gas without knowing where you're going.
Right, gotta have that destination in mind.
Exactly.
So how do we map out our route, so to speak, when it comes to picking an EMR?
Well, the article highlights 3 things.
Okay, lay them on me.
First up, scalability. Is your practice solo, or are you thinking of expanding?
Gotta plan for the future.
Right, the system needs to grow with you.
Like choosing between a sports car or a minivan. Depends how many people you gotta fit in.
Exactly. Next, how customizable is the system? One size fits all doesn't really work here.
Because each practice is unique.
Exactly. You've got your own workflows, specialties, quirks even.
Gotta find those shoes that fit just right.
Exactly. And finally, think about specialty-specific features. The article emphasized this big time.
Makes sense, especially for smaller practices focused on one area.
You need an EMR that speaks your language, the right terms, forms, codes, the works.
Okay, so we got our map and our vehicle. What about packing for the trip? Looking at EMR features is overwhelming.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
Feels like they do everything but make you coffee.
You're telling me.
So what features do we really need to prioritize?
The article's really clear on this. User-friendliness above all else.
Makes sense.
You can have all the bells and whistles, but if it's a nightmare to use...
Nobody's going to use it.
Exactly. Got to be intuitive, easy to pick up, minimal training needed.
Nobody wants to spend their day fighting with software.
Right. And speaking of seamless, the article also talks about integration with other systems.
Oh, less double entry, smoother workflows.
Less headaches for everybody.
I'm all about less headaches.
Think of your EMR as the hub. It should connect smoothly with your billing system, scheduling, even the labs.
Everything talking to each other.
Like imagine your billing. With the right integration, codes go straight from the visit to the billing software.
No more manual entry, less room for errors.
Pure efficiency.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
But we can't talk digital without security.
Oh, absolutely.
Patient data is gold. Got to keep it safe.
More than gold.
The article mentioned HIPAA compliance.
It's essential.
But for a small practice, what does that actually look like?
Basically, it's a set of rules that make sure health info stays private and secure.
So the EMR system's got to be built with that in mind.
100%. Strong passwords, data encryption, access control so only the right people can see sensitive stuff.
That makes sense. We've talked user-friendliness, integration, security. But what about the cost?
Yeah, got to address that.
EMRs are an investment. Got to be smart about the money.
Absolutely. And the article has some good guidance here.
Okay.
First off, different pricing models. Some are like buying a car, big upfront cost, perpetual license.
And others are more like a subscription.
Exactly. You pay a recurring fee. So you got to think about your budget and long-term needs.
It's like choosing to buy a car outright or lease it.
Exactly. Pros and cons to each.
And then there are those hidden costs everyone warns about.
Oh, yeah. Implementation, training, ongoing support. It adds up.
The cheapest option up front might not be the best in the long run.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head.
So the million-dollar question, is it worth it? Can an EMR actually pay for itself?
That's the big one. And the article seems to say yes.
Okay, good to hear.
But there's a catch. You got to pick a system that aligns with your practice's goals and workflows.
You got to be the right fit.
If it's implemented well and used right, EMRs can streamline things, boost efficiency, cut admin costs.
So you're actually improving revenue cycle management in the long run.
It's an investment in the future of your practice, not just another bill to pay. You're not just looking at the price tag today. It's about those long-term benefits.
Right, the payoff down the road.
Improved care, fewer errors, a more efficient practice.
Things you can't always put a dollar amount on.
Exactly.
So let's say you've done the research, figured out your needs. Maybe you've even got a few EMR systems you're eyeing.
Okay.
How do you pick the one? This feels like a big decision.
It is. It's a commitment.
Like finding the perfect partner.
EMR marriage. Haha.
Exactly. And you don't want to rush into that.
No, you don't.
The article really emphasizes research and comparison.
Due diligence is key.
So we're talking like dating before we put a ring on it.
I like that analogy.
Demos, free trials, getting to know the system.
Absolutely. Don't just take their word for it. See it in action.
Kick the tires a bit.
Come prepared with questions. Get a feel for how it works.
And if they offer a free trial, even better.
Oh, yeah. That's the best way to see if it's a good fit for your practice.
Test drive before you buy.
Exactly.
And speaking of test drives, this isn't a solo mission. Your staff are the ones who'd be using this every day.
So true.
Their input is crucial.
The article's spot on about involving your staff. Get their feedback on what matters to them.
What are their pain points with the current system?
Exactly. What do they want to see in a new one? They're the ones on the front lines.
They're the ones in the trenches.
Their insights are invaluable.
So once you've found the one,
you're ready to take the plunge.
The article mentions negotiating the contract.
Oh, absolutely. Don't be afraid to negotiate.
Gotta get what you need.
Remember, this is a partnership. You want a vendor who's in it for the long haul, who's there to support you.
Not just a quick sale.
Make sure you understand the pricing, the implementation, the support, all the fine print.
So we've planned our route, packed our bags, found our travel buddy, now we're hitting the road.
Let's go.
But we've all heard those implementation horror stories.
Oh, yeah.
Systems crashing, data vanishing, total chaos.
The EMR apocalypse.
Exactly. How do we avoid that?
The article has some good advice, and it boils down to planning.
Planning is key.
Plan, plan, plan.
I'm a big planner, so I'm on board with that.
Good.
But what does that actually look like when we're talking about EMRs?
One of the big ones is data migration.
Moving everything from paper or your old system into the new one?
It's a big job.
Uh-huh.
Requires careful planning, cleaning up the data, testing everything to make sure it's accurate.
Don't want to lose anything in the move.
Like making sure you packed everything before you leave the old house.
No one wants to realize they forgot their toothbrush.
Exactly. And once you've moved the data, you got to train your staff on the new system.
Everyone needs to know how to use it.
Training is crucial. And it's not just one and done. It's ongoing. It's got to be tailored to everyone's roles.
So everyone's comfortable and confident.
Exactly.
And this is where that vendor support comes in, right?
Absolutely. You want a provider who's with you every step of the way, from implementation to training to troubleshooting.
They're like your co-pilot on this journey.
Exactly.
Okay. We've covered a lot. Understanding your needs, choosing the system, the contract, the implementation.
We've been busy.
It sounds like a lot, but those EMR benefits seem worth it.
Oh, they are.
It's not just about keeping up with technology.
It's about better care, a more efficient practice, a better experience for everyone.
Now that we've reached our destination,
We made it.
I have one final question for you. We've talked about your role in choosing an EMR.
Right.
What about your team? How do you get them on board? How do you make sure this transition goes smoothly?
That's a great question, and it's a perfect way to wrap up.
Feels like we've been on this road trip learning about EMRs.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
And you know what really stuck with me from the article?
What's that?
This isn't just about going digital for the sake of it, right? It's about giving your practice the tools to thrive in the future of healthcare.
Absolutely.
You're investing in better care, a more streamlined practice, a happier team.
It's a win-win-win.
So much to think about today.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
And it got me thinking, now that we know what to look for in an EMR, how do we get the whole team involved in this decision?
Good question.
It's one thing for us to be excited about it.
Right, you got to bring everyone along.
But how do we make sure the transition is smooth for everyone?
Well, it starts with leadership.
Okay.
As the leader of your practice, you set the vision for this change.
So lead by example.
Exactly. Communicate the why behind the EMR.
Why are we doing this?
Help your team understand the benefits, not just for the practice, but for them.
What's in it for me?
Exactly. People are more likely to embrace change when they see how it benefits them directly.
Makes sense. Nobody likes change forced on them.
And don't just tell them, involve them in the process.
Okay, how do we do that?
Share what you learned from this deep dive. Encourage them to participate in those demos and free trials we talked about.
Get their hands dirty.
Ask for their feedback. What do they think of the features? How does it feel to use?
So they feel like they're part of the decision.
Exactly. The more involved they are, the more ownership they'll feel.
And change can be scary for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do we address those concerns?
Be prepared to answer questions, provide reassurance, offer support throughout the process.
Be a good guide. Anticipate those bumps in the road.
Exactly. Open communication, shared purpose, and support. That's how you make this a positive experience for the whole team.
That's a great takeaway. We've explored the what, the why, and the how of choosing an EMR.
It's been a thorough deep dive.
Time to take action. The journey might have its challenges, but that destination,
It's worth it.
it's worth it. And hey, you might even enjoy the ride.
You never know.
Thanks for tuning into the Billing Blueprint Podcast. For more insights or to dive deeper into today's topics, head over to billflash.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next week with more strategies to keep your practice running smoothly and getting paid faster.